You have 5 to 6 members in your family. You have 7 to 8 friends in your school or college. There are a lot of people around you, but still no one talks to you. No one asks about your condition, your relatives, and all the people around you. They only talk to you when they need it. Directly, they are selfish. Let's cut the nonsense. You're lonely, and you know it. You might have 500 followers, 1,000 friends, 10,000 connections, but who actually gives a damn about you? When was the last time someone called just to check in? When was the last time you had a real, deep, unfiltered conversation? And I'm not talking about sending a wide text at 2 a.m. I mean sitting down with someone who truly knows you, your fears, your dreams, your struggles. It's been a while, and yet, every night, you go to bed feeling disconnected, feeling like something is missing. That weird, hollow emptiness that no amount of scrolling, no amount of YouTube shorts, no amount of Netflix can fill. And that's because this isn't just in your head. We are in the middle of a loneliness epidemic. It's only getting worse. See, loneliness isn't about being physically alone. You could be surrounded by people, in a room full of friends, in a party full of noise, and still feel completely invisible. Because loneliness isn't the absence of people, it's the absence of connection. Studies show that loneliness is as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases your risk of heart disease, depression, anxiety, and even early death. The worst part? It's addictive. The longer you stay lonely, the more comfortable you get with it. How many times have you told yourself, I should reach out to someone, but then just didn't? How many friendships have you let fade? Not because you didn't care, but because it just felt easier? And now you've convinced yourself that this is just life, that being lonely is just part of adulthood, that everyone is too busy. You didn't just become lonely, you let it happen. And before you start blaming modern society or social media or work culture, let's look in your heart and tell. Yes, the world is changing. Yes, technology is isolating us. But be honest, how much of your loneliness is actually your doing? How many people have you ghosted just because you didn't feel like replying? Ignored because you assumed they're probably busy anyway? Drifted apart from because neither of you made an effort? You say you want deep connections, but when was the last time you actually showed up for someone? Relationships don't die overnight. They die when you stop choosing them. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, nobody ever checks up on me either, let me ask you this. When was the last time you checked up on someone? You can't expect people to care about you if you don't give a damn about them either. Friendships are not one-sided. Connections require effort. But the problem is, most people don't even realize they're doing this to themselves. The deeper you sink into loneliness, the harder it is to get out. It's a poisonous cycle. You stop reaching out, so people stop reaching out to you. You convince yourself they don't care, so you isolate yourself even more. You get used to being alone, so now, even the idea of socializing feels exhausting. And then suddenly, loneliness becomes your comfort zone. Being alone feels safer. Talking to people feels awkward, and that's where most people get stuck. At some point, you stop feeling lonely. You just feel numb, like you've accepted that this is how life is now. But this isn't just about your emotions. Loneliness rewires your brain. It changes how you think, how you react, how you trust. And the longer you stay lonely, the harder it becomes to break out of it. But it's not impossible, and that's what we're going to fix. Most people get detached themselves from this world because they are weak. They don't have the courage to accept their fault. Most people think their friends have a lot of money, so they detach themselves to get richer. In thinking of money, they lost their half-life. And when they finally get richer, their mind not convince them to talk to them. Many people fall into this poison. And trust me, this is not a black cobra poison that it kill you suddenly. It is a virus like COVID-19. It slowly kills you. It makes you torture every single day. So please stop this, because the world is very beautiful. There is lots of positivity in it. So don't get negative, and follow the below steps to escape this virus. If you want to stop being lonely, you need to start putting in effort. No more waiting for people to come to you. No more blaming circumstances. No more excuses. Here's what you actually need to do. Reach out first. Stop waiting for someone else to text you. If you miss someone, text them. If you want to talk, call them. If you want to make plans, make them. Stop assuming people don't care. They do, but they're just as lost in their own lives as you are. Prioritize real conversations over digital ones. Texting is fine, but nothing replaces real connection. Call your friends, meet up in person, have deep, unfiltered conversations, and for the love of everything, stop multitasking when you're with people. Put your phone, down. Stop using social media as a replacement for real connection. Scrolling through people's lives is not the same as being in their lives. Liking their posts is not the same as talking to them. Stop stalking and start engaging. Make friendships a priority. You make time for work. You make time for Netflix. When was the last time you made time for a friend? Friendships don't survive on "we should catch up soon." They survive on "let's hang out on Saturday." Be someone people can rely on. If you want deep, meaningful friendships, you need to show up, not just when it's convenient, not just when you're bored, but when people actually need you. And if you do this, you'll stop feeling invisible. You'll stop feeling like no one cares. Because connection isn't about who's in your life, it's about who you show up for. If you don't fix this now, it's only going to get worse. Life doesn't just hand you close friendships. You have to build them. And yes, it's work. It takes effort. It takes vulnerability. But it's also worth it. Because 5 years from now, you can either be deeper in your loneliness or surrounded by people who truly care. The choice is yours. So what's it gonna be? Are you going to keep waiting, keep isolating, keep pretending this is just life? Or are you finally going to do something about it? Your move. And if this hit home, you might want to follow. Because trust me, you'll need more of this.